To celebrate our 30th wedding anniversary, we're heading to Europe.
For 30-something days. Our plans are to explore France, Switzerland, and Belgium over 35 days.
And we're capturing it all in this digital scrapbook.
We hope you enjoy our retelling of these adventures.
On this episode, we're leaving Lyon and heading to Paris for the second time. We're supposed to be heading to Bruges, but I fumbled the reservation system for Eurail, but I was able to get us a reservation to Paris, to Gare de Lyon. We had a rough start to our visit to Lyon with our testy taxi driver, but we were able to recover and enjoy the few days that we had here.
Yeah, it was great. It was surprising in some ways, and we really had a wonderful time.
Yeah, we saw some amazing architecture and learned some amazing history. We did, however, take an Uber to the train station this time.
Yeah, and the Uber driver was great. He dropped us off in a parking lot attached to the train station, told us which way to go because it was very confusing. And so we made it up the elevator and into the train station. No muss, no fuss.
Yeah, and our one recommendation when visiting Lyon is take an Uber, not a taxi.
Surprisingly, there was security check-in for our train ride from Lyon to Paris, so that added some time, but we had left ourselves plenty of time to get onto the train, so it was no big deal.
We did have assigned seats since this had required reservations, so we had a comfy last train ride. Huh? We're moving.
Once we got on board and got settled, it was a very relaxing, enjoyable train ride from Lyon to Paris. We arrived at Gare de Lyon train station and walked from there directly to our hotel.
This also cracks me up that they got them everybody that faces the street. That's kind of a unique Parisian thing, right? We found a cute little hotel in the Bercy area of Paris, not far from the National Bibliothèque, and really enjoyed our stay in this somewhat of a boutique hotel. That's gotta make it daily notes, right? I know, it's a good idea, actually.
So different.
Yeah. We had 3 nights in this lovely hotel, and it had everything that we needed. Very comfy shower and a comfy bed, and really, what else do you need?
Once we were settled in the room, we went out for dinner nearby.
There was basically a restaurant row right along the Seine, and there were a lot of barges that kind of served as restaurants, as well as restaurants right next to the river, and we went to go check those out. So this is another restaurant, I think. Right? So, see this thing? Is there a light on top of her? Yeah. So some sort of a... You think that actually sails? That's where we had dinner. So cool. It's a very vibrant scene. I don't want to call it hipster, but maybe the cool version of hipster. By this whole thing, because there's a pool, but then there's also art, right? There's people in the pool. It's not like it's... It looks like it's a serious swimming pool too, but like not a just float around and have fun type of thing. Almost 30 days ago, we'd spent 6 nights in Paris, but of course, that's not enough time to see all the things that we wanted to see in Paris. So, despite the fact that we weren't able to get to Belgium, I was excited to go and see some of the stuff that we missed out on the first time around. Our first time in Paris, we'd run out of time to go see Muse'e D'Orsay. So on this visit, that was my #1 priority. Because we're such walkers, though, we decided to walk from our hotel to the museum. And it was about an hour-and-a-half walk with some amazing things to see along the way. This seems pretty. Yeah, I think it might be part of the garden. Oh, look how cute is this? Cute little books in the window. Little books in the window. How cute is that? It's an interesting perspective from Notre Dame. Notre Dame right there. Let me get this shot real quick though. It's kind of cool. So you were saying all the time, because you can really see the construction, right?
Correct. I can see now that they're rebuilding the whole.
Yeah. So before Victor Hugo's novel came out, there was actually talk about tearing it down.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And because of how popular that book was, it ended up. I think this would be a cool way to travel up and down Paris. Is this photo bus? It's like a hop on, hop off. Hilarious. Remember we saw one of those in Switzerland? So here's the entrance. There's a different line, different queue for timed entry, but it all does not look too terrible, does it? So she's supposed to be Europe. Africa. Amazing. North America. Interesting. Yeah. Different continent. And this must be South America and Australia, I guess. Pictures really like her. Tell by the kangaroo. Yeah, each of the statues represented one of the populated continents in the world. Ha 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 ha. You see what I see? I was really excited to see this replica of Statue of Liberty, but by this point in time, we'd been walking for an hour and a half.
Probably closer to 2 hours because we went around the neighborhood first.
Yeah, so we were looking for someplace to take a break. If there's someplace to sit.
Okay.
I don't. There's not going to be any place to sit then. All right, we'll keep walking. That's fine. Maybe right there? I don't know.
We were excited to learn that the museum had a Manet and Degas exhibit going on.
A couple of our favorites. Museum d'Orsay was built from an old railroad station. So it had these amazing ceilings, and you can tell it used to be a vast terminal. But of course, because it was done in the 1800s, it was absolutely stunning.
In addition to the exhibit, we walked through a number of the other galleries throughout the museum and just had a great time. We spent hours here.
Good job, John. Good job finding the sortie. All right. Now what?
After many hours of cultural enrichment, it was time once again to enjoy some French food.
You looked at the menu on that one. You were not impressed. You want to look at this menu? There's a menu right there.
Walking an hour and a half back to our hotel sounds daunting, but it's always easier if you get to do it along the Seine.
This is our hotel right here, in case you didn't know. Means our trip's done, so that's good news. Bonjour.
We freshened up at the hotel room and grabbed some dessert at the restaurant next door and then went for a walk along the river. This was a great ending to a perfect day.
Oh yeah. Good, yeah. It's green. I think that's our tower, right?
Is it?
I don't know. I mean, it certainly looks more than a dozen stories high. So I didn't notice, we didn't notice that building, like with the green,
Yeah.
because we're all underneath of it.
Yeah, I kept seeing it from the bridge.
Oh yeah?
5 times.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed it. So the next day, which was our last fun day in Paris, I'd planned a little something, but I didn't share with John what we were doing. So we went through this whole entire walk without him knowing what the final plans are.
And I didn't ask.
You could totally push me around in one of those. Absolutely. It's only 690 euros, so. Just a blankie. What? No, it's open. It's a blankie. I'll be all set. Pedal about everywhere we go. Yeah. Only 3 minutes away now. Maybe I had the instructions on drive. I'm not saying that I did, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that I'm just not a very good Google mapper, that's all. And you've not asked once where we're going. During our time in Paris, I've kind of set the agenda and we've gone along and ticked off all my bucket list items. On this day, which is our last fun day in Paris, I decided to get our geek on and treat John to a visit to the Museum of Technology, Science and Industry. I can see that. Yeah. It's a Crocodile Dundee type of a thing, right? I didn't buy tickets ahead for this because I didn't think it was like sans billet. You see why I thought your green cruise was interesting?
Deuxième étage.
This place was pretty cool and very geeky. It had a number of different exhibits and it kind of progressed through different themes, if you will. And this area was more about measurements and ultimately kind of navigation and astronomy. And then it moved through kind of the history of standardized measurements into computing, telecommunications. It also talked about construction and design and then media. And it was very cool.
Yeah, it's a small little museum, not very busy at all. So it was also nice to get away from all the crazy crowds.
It was cool to see things that we had seen in other places. So this is the Cinco cyclotron that we had seen at CERN in Geneva. This was a replica of a Cray supercomputer. This was a display about storage media. I think we've used all of these.
I think we have, yep.
This display referenced the magical staircase that we learned about in New Mexico.
Apparently it's not magic, it's engineering.
this was our final Statue of Liberty replica that we found on this trip. After marveling at Foucault's pendulum, we headed out and walked our way back to the hotel, but stopping first at the Place de Bastille.
The Bastille, the famous French prison, no longer is standing, but in its place they've erected this monument. I don't know what these different, if there's 1789. $1830 over there, I don't know what all they mean. 1848.
Throughout Paris, we saw a number of these bocce courts, and there was almost always a line. Almost all of our days in Paris have been fantastic in terms of weather. This is one of the few times we started to catch rain.
Big raindrops.
Fortunately, we were about a block away from the hotel at this point.
Bonjour. 2/10 of a mile away. Let me take care of him real quick.
Technically, we still had a couple more days in Paris, but they were going to be spent at the hotel near the airport, getting ready to fly home.
Okay. Yeah, that was part of our original plan, was to stay close to the airport so we could have an easy commute and just get things cleaned up and ready for the trip back home. Ooh la la. Okay, this will work. Yeah.
Extra rose smell, just for you.
Yeah. I wonder what they use for cleaning. Got it. Yeah, that works. Got a fridge. Not that we need it, but we got it. Desperate. Yeah. This will do.
We planned also to do a trial run from the hotel to the airport through the shuttle system to make sure we understood how to get there for the next day.
This has been an amazing trip, and I couldn't imagine a better way to celebrate 30 years of marriage.
Agreed. We had a great time, lots of great adventures, saw some amazing things, visited 2 countries, and just loved every minute of it. Join us for our next adventure. We don't know what that's going to be just yet, but it'll be here on our channel.